Hey folks, welcome to the 10th episode of the Kindness Files. I'm your host, Georgina, founder of Kind2, and the aim of this podcast is to spread a bit of joy with fun memories and connecting amazing humans together through kindness. We've been speaking to a lot of people, some amazing humans that have shaped my life, and dropping a new episode weekly. And here is our 10th guest. This is Jade Hadfield, and I think we met on LinkedIn. Is it LinkedIn that we met?
Yes. I think somebody connected us on LinkedIn, didn't they? God, it's been a while now, hasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody connected us to say, I think you two should meet. And we've done a couple of LinkedIn lives together now. And yeah, it's amazing to
We
follow
have.
your
Yeah,
journey and also, yeah, to hear a bit more about what kindness means to you today. So, welcome to the Kindness
absolutely.
Files. Question
Thanks
number
for having
one
me.
is, oh, thank you.
Yep.
Question number one, what does kindness mean to you?
I think for me, there's two different ways of looking at kindness. So there's the kind of external kindness towards others, which in my mind is not being judgmental, being very inclusive of everybody, accepting that everybody's story is different and you don't know what's happening behind closed doors or what their background is, and just accepting people for what they are and who they are. But then you can also flip that, and then there's kindness to yourself, which can absolutely, in some circumstances, be the total opposite. And kindness to yourself can come across as being selfish, whereas kindness to others can often be relatively selfless. So I think, yeah, there's two different kind of meanings for me, and both can be conflicting against each other.
Yeah, and I think that if we're in a position where we're accepting that other people may not always act how we expect them to, and we're being kind to ourselves, then these kind of behaviors, I don't know, make things a bit kinder.
Yeah, somebody said to me once, I think when growing up, parents would often say, treat others how you would expect to be treated. And then somebody said something to me, I don't know, a few years ago, where it was treat others how they want to be treated. And it really stuck with me because I thought that's actually quite interesting. How I want to be spoken to and how I want to be treated could be very, very different to the next person and what they want. And I think that actually probably is the epitome of kindness: treat people how they want to be treated and what their expectations are versus how you feel that you should be behaving and acting towards another.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Can you tell me about a time where you remember an act of kindness and why it stuck with you?
Yeah. Do you know what? This question actually kind of spun me for a while. I was trying to really dig deep and think about something that stuck with me. But many years ago, I had quite a bad motorbike accident on an island. Got stuck under the bike. Yeah, whole other story. But there was obviously traffic forming. There was a gentleman at the front of that, kind of right behind the accident that I'd had, and an ambulance was called. And there had been probably, I think, 2 or 3 accidents along one road. And the ambulance had said, we're going to be probably an hour and a half, 2 hours trying to get there. And this gentleman picked me, put me in his car, drove me to the hospital, and stayed at the hospital till a family member got there. And he actually said to me, it's my 40th birthday today. It was a Friday. It's my 40th birthday today. And my wife doesn't know that I know, but she's throwing me a surprise birthday party. And I should have been there an hour and a half ago. And I felt terrible. And I said, you need to leave. And he was like, no, you've had a serious accident. I'm going to stay here till I know you've got a family member, because I was only really young at the time. And it really stuck with me because I thought, I never got his name, I never got his details, never got the chance to thank him. He didn't know me, we were complete strangers, and it's his kind of surprise birthday party, and he'd missed it. And probably by the time he got home would have missed most of it. But it just stuck with me that a complete stranger would do something like that in somebody's kind of, quite an urgent hour of need after an accident, to do that.
Wow, that's such a random act of kindness.
Yeah, most people would be. I mean, I know me, my ADHD rage. If I'm sat in a traffic queue, I'm raging. So to get out of your car and kind of help somebody, not only help them and check they're okay, to then take them to the hospital and sit with them and wait till family was called. And yeah, and I never got his name, never got his details. And he often pops into my head, and I wonder, I would have wished I could have had the chance to have thanked him more.
Yeah, and I think that kind of stuff goes into paying kindness forward as well, because you may never see that person again, but that situation impacted your life,
Yeah,
to then pay the kindness forward.
absolutely.
Question number 3. What are you most thankful for?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I am thankful for the simple things in life mostly. So the fact that I have a roof over my head, I have a good job, I have my health to a degree. I have my health. I've got a healthy little boy. I've got a beautiful family. Those things that, apart from a roof over head, but those things that money can't really buy: your health, your happiness. I think money can buy you a lot of things, but the things I'm most thankful for is having that health and happiness.
Yeah, I understand that. And what brings you the most joy in life?
A little boy and seeing him happy. So he is 6, he's 7 in October. And he's just the absolute light of my life. And listening to him when I pick him up from school, and he's a little chatterbox, but he'll be so excited to tell me about everything in his day and what he's done, and if he's had a sticker from the teacher, and he lights up my world. But he's such a beautiful little boy in that he'll talk to me about kind of just the world generally. So there is a little boy at his school that comes into school wearing dresses, and he'll talk to me about this and say, other children laugh at him, but I'm his friend and I'll play with him. And we've had the conversation around, can boys wear dresses? Can girls wear trousers? And, absolutely, anyone can wear everything. And he's very much has this mindset of people can do what they want to do as long as they're happy. And that just brings me so much joy, especially at his age, and that he's very influenced by people around him. He's got such a beautiful outlook on life. Just such a kind heart, and that just brings me absolute kind of joy.
It brings me joy, and I don't even know him. It's adorable. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do?
I have a dream aspiration. I want to set up a charity. And I've been talking about this now, God, I don't know, 2-3 years. And I continually talk about it. And then I get so far with it and then I stop. I think I'm just so fearful of the responsibility that comes with running a charity and bringing something like that into the local area. And if it fails and that's taken away from people, and I think if I knew I couldn't fail and it was going to work, then I would absolutely push forward with it. But there's always this fear that holds me back. But I talk about it all the time. I think I drive my partner mad with kind of this dream, and I've even strategized for kind of where you start and where we'll get to in 5 years and what this will look like. There's always something, and it's definitely a fear. It's a fear of not really, it's a dream. I guess it's not dissimilar to wanting to be a CEO and having your own company, right? You don't know the ins and outs, and I don't know the ins and outs of how a charity works. And there's certainly a fear of, if it collapses or, I fail, what does that mean? But that's absolutely what I would do. If I had no fear of failing, I would just go full steam ahead and set up my charity.
I love that. Slight side tangent. I set up a charity a couple of years ago. So if you want to know the starting point of setting up the charity and what that bit means, we can absolutely have a chat after this.
That would be incredible. Love this. See, this is why we connect.
Yeah. Also, it's giving me like little goosebumps as well.
Oh, exciting. We should definitely do this.
Awesome. Okay, we've got 3 questions left. The third from last question. When was the last time you did something for the first time?
Oh, gosh. Honestly, I think it would probably be I guess it depends. I went to Mexico for the first time this year, so that was the first time I've travelled there. But when I really did something, I guess, meaningful for the first time, would have been, I'd say, about a year or so ago, when it was the first time I did any guest speaking around the neurodiversity, which is obviously how we connected. So I think that's the first time I did something for the first time that was really meaningful, that stuck. And it was I was petrified, you know, in the lead up to it and on the day, and I was so scared. And actually, in one day, I'd never done it before, and in one day I did a podcast and 2 guest speeches in one day, and got to the end of the day and was just like, oh my god, I've never done this before. I've just done one after the other. I love doing it now, and it's great, and I still get the nerves. But yeah, that's probably the last time I've done something for the first time that was meaningful.
Nice. Kind of giving yourself a 3-in-1. I like that. Good work. In first, head
You know
first.
what it's like with ADHD, right? It's all or nothing. We don't do things by half, so just do it all or nothing.
Absolutely. Penultimate question. How have you treated yourself with kindness lately?
I think this actually is quite a difficult question. And I guess just to sidetrack a little bit, I think today's society, and with social media, in particular for women, I think it makes it really hard for women to be kind to themselves. I think there is this societal view of how a woman should look, how they should dress, what their body should be, how they should act. You know, it's quite corny, but if you've ever watched the Barbie film, the speech she does about be a boss, but don't be too hard, be a girl, but, you know, and I genuinely think that's true. And I think it's made it really hard for women to be kind to themselves in the society that we're in. And I know I put myself under immense pressure to be the best at work, to be the best mum, to look the best, to dress the best. So I think it's made it really hard. And the question that's really resonated with me. And I thought, when was that? And I don't think it's anything major or life-changing, but I think for me it's on occasions when I've took a step back and said, stop putting the pressure on. Or, you know, yesterday I had to break off. I'm going on holiday in 9 weeks, so I'm on a diet and in the gym. So yesterday I had a chocolate bar and I had to break off my diet. And I think they're the kind of things for me where it's, you know, I've got a pressurized job, I work full time, I've got a 6-year-old, I've got a family, so it is hard, and it's hard finding that time. So it's for me, being kind to myself is the small things of having 15 minutes reading a couple of pages of my book and just relaxing, or having that chocolate bar because I've been going to the gym and trying to eat well for the last 2 weeks. It's those things. So it's never, it's not anything big and major, but the question did resonate with me and did make me think, do I do enough to be kind to myself, or am I allowing the pressures of society to actually kind of stop myself? I'm my harshest critic. And so the question did resonate with me and did make me think I need to do more for myself in that respect.
Yeah, I get that. And also, going into the Barbie film, my take of the Barbie film is, you know, when she's speaking to the older lady, and because there's no old people in Barbie,
Yeah.
and she meets an old woman for the first time, and she's like, "You're so beautiful," and I'm like, "Oh."
Honestly, that film is incredible. I absolutely love it. I think I was expecting it to be quite corny and cheesy, but it's really not. I think the messaging behind it is so powerful for even little girls to sit and watch. It's so important. And it perfectly depicts society and how they expect women to just get to about the age of, you know, late 20s and never age anymore, and fill your face Botox and fillers, and, you know, never age past that. You know, and it's not physically possible, but that is the expectations of society now. And I think it is difficult. I think it's difficult for men as well, but I genuinely, I think it's really, really hard for women. I think it's really difficult because you're expected to look a certain way, dress a certain way. You're expected to have a job, but not just have a job, also have quite, you know, they're expecting you to be a boss. And then you're also expected to be a mum and be the perfect mum and do all of these things. And it's something has to give somewhere. But I think, the pressure on women to just leave little room to be kind to yourself today.
Absolutely. And that small time where it's just for you, whether it's 5 minutes to step outside and go,
Yeah.
it's okay, I've got this.
Yeah. And I think that's absolutely it. That sometimes is, Yeah, I have to go home sometimes and just sit down and say it's not the end of the world. Just be a bit more kinder to yourself. You can't. I did a presentation at work recently, quite a big one, and I was so hard on myself in the lead up to that. It's put so much pressure on myself to second guess every question I might get off the back of it and have an answer, so that people knew that I knew my job and I knew what I was doing. And actually, I think I need to be kinder to myself and realise I am human and I will make mistakes and not everything will always be perfect, and be kinder to myself in that perspective.
Absolutely. And also, from a presentation point of view, the people watching are generally rooting for you.
Yeah. It's interesting though, isn't it? How as an individual you look at
Yeah,
life and yeah, yeah.
absolutely. And the final question is, I know you've pre-prepared a note. If you could
I have.
show a kind note that you've written to a stranger and read it out.
Do you want me to show it or read it first?
Both. If you show it to the screen and then read it out, please.
Okay, so it says, "This too shall pass, be kind to yourself."
Oh, I love that. It will
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah, it's something that me and one of my brothers, we talk about it a lot, the theory of this too shall pass. And it's so true. When you're in your kind of darkest hour or you're going through something, I think it's always important to reflect back and think that's probably not the first time you've been through that, but you've come out the other side. It's so important, particularly with mental health. It's so important to know it will pass, and you just be kind to yourself during that kind of difficult phase, but it will pass eventually. And that might be tomorrow, it might be in a week, it might be in 6 months, but it will pass and you will get through it. I don't think there's anything in life that's you can't kind of work your way through. It's just what that length of time is and how long it takes, but you can always get through things and it will always pass.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jade. Thank you for joining me today on the Kindness Files. And next week, we're going to be speaking to another awesome human. So please join us. Thanks, everyone. I can't speak.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, everybody. Thanks, Jade. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.